Hey guys, welcome back. Here I am in my new favorite tier 6 tank in the game, the BUGI, better known as the Bug Polish tier 6 medium with the pay to win gun. Yes, the derp gun that shoots HE. But if you pay more than 10 times more credits, you have the best gun at tier 6. Driven by Chuck Norris. And I can't get enough of this thing. I've only played 16 games in total in this tank, and I've managed over 3,000 damage 3 times. Stupidly, I continued the grind down the Polish line, and I've played the tier 7, and I've played the tier 8. I've finished the grind on those two. They're both terrible. And I've come to the conclusion I can offer you this advice. If you're thinking about grinding the Polish line, grind to tier 6 and stop. And just enjoy playing this tank. And why the hell go through the agony and aggravation of the tier 7 and 8s like I did? And I don't know, we'll see what the tier 9's like, but here you have a tier 6 tank that has 300 alpha and 168 pen if you press 2, and it shoots 9.5 times per minute, giving it almost 3,000 DPM. And that's not with the HE. The DPM with the HE is much higher, but of course HE doesn't pen. I'm talking about if you press 2 and you're shooting AP with 168 pen and 300 damage per shot, 9.5 times per minute with my crew configuration and everything is 2,850 damage per minute. Then you grind this and you get the tier 7, and with the top gun you have 168 pen and 300 alpha, but the gun only shoots like 4.5 times per minute. You drop to about 1,800 DPM. You drop 1,000 DPM when you get to tier 7, and then when you get to tier 8 you get back close to the DPM of this tank. Because reasons that only wargaming understands. Normal people do not understand the complexities and mathematical formulas and the way that the game is magically put together scientifically to fuck with you and make you hate every minute after you pass tier 7. Now, hey, what's the point? Look at this. 2 low rolls. I low roll. That's a low roll at tier 6. Now I have noticed something, and I think I'm going to start another conspiracy theory here. This thing is so powerful that I think Wargaming realizes it. 300 alpha at tier 6, are you nuts? So you low roll all the time. Except for that shot that I rolled 344 and took him out on the battlefield. So there, a tier 6 tank, I've taken a few shots, I'm at 1,200 damage. I'll summarize it in one word. Ridiculous. You thought I was going to say redonkulous, didn't you? It's just like, it's silly. Ha! Isn't it? I was started going down the Polish line. I got to the BUGI. I call it the BUGI. And I thought, holy shit. I am going to enjoy this Polish grind. If the tier 6 has 2,850 DPM and 300 alpha, when I get to tier 7 and 8, I'm going to be... Well, no, you get to tier 8, you still have 300 alpha and lower DPM. But you get to fight tier 10s. I think it's a joke, right? I think it's... This stuff is not random. This stuff is not, it's not put together in a thoughtful, methodical way that somehow makes sense. That's not the case. It's a joke perpetrated by the developers in Belarus to be able to laugh at Polish players. People that play this game from Poland. Every now and then, someone from Belarus looks at your account and laughs. Ha 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 ha! Another, he's grinding to tier 9, Yuri. Ha 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 ha! He should have stopped at the BUGI. It's called Bug. Klaus Kellerman calls it Boogie. That's what it is, right? It's a way. It's just it's an inside joke, right? It's gotta be. Watch this. Boogie woogie. Low roll, and I'm serious about the low rolls. I think when a tank is overpowered and just starts to consistently do well and dominate, I'd say I've played 16 games, and I'm going to go back and recap them. I should have done it before this video. But I'd say 80% of my rolls are lower than 300. 80%. Because that, average means 80% below and 20% above. It's like the IQ of the human race, right? The average IQ is 100, which means 80% of people are below 100, morons, and 20% are above. Same idea, right? Okay, Snapperoonie, take a boogie woogie for you. They call that puppy love? That was a 320 roll. All right, I'm not sure about the rolls. But take that. 290 roll. Take that. What am I at? I'm playing tier 6, guys. There's not a lot of HP to go around at tier 6. When you get 3,000 damage at tier 6, not consistently, not every game, but often, that's hard to do. There's not that much HP. I do not average. I'm playing the tier 8 now, and my average damage when I look at the stats on whatever that, I don't even know the names of the Polish ones, the CS50 whatever, the tier 8 one. The average damage, I've played about 30-40 games in it. I'm grinding to tier 9. My average damage per game is lower than in my buggy. Because the tank doesn't shoot very fast, and I'm fighting tier 9s and 10s, and I get killed quickly. But not in the boogie. The boogie. Respect the boogie. You gotta respect the boogie. So what? So my new philosophy. Okay, let's be serious here. The philosophy is, I know this is a game that you're intended to grind, right? Grinding, synonymous with head down, working hard, no matter how much oppression and just relentless pursuit of with the weight of the world on your shoulders, carrying the load for the people, and with the powers and the aristocrats and the government pushing you down as you try and claw your way, like they do in Russia, right? That's fun over there. It's not fucking fun for me. I'm from North America. That's not fun. We have different ideas of what fun is. So my new philosophy is, well, why burden yourself with the drudgery of grinding to tier 10 to get something that's a hunk of freaking shit that can be farmed by any other tank? Stop at tier 6 is what I'm saying. You don't have to grind. It's a free world. You do not have to grind. You can stop. You get to the happy place and you just say, oh, I've reached my happy place. I'm still looking, and personally I'm still looking for my happy place, those of you who know me. I'm a, what do they call it? A content provider. So I'm going to grind to tier 10. And if you want to watch me do it on my stream, you can. You'll see me going nuts and losing it and losing my shit and just hating almost every second of it. You can live vicariously through me. But I'm telling you, if you haven't done it yet, if you want to go down the Polish line, when you get to tier 6, you get this tank, just stop, play it, keep playing it, keep your crew in it. Right? Don't spend the gold to move it to another tank to tier 6, because it's worse. And then spend gold again to retrain to the tier 8, because it's worse. Just stay at tier 6, enjoy tier 6, have fun. Every time you take it out, you'll laugh, you'll be hysterically content, you'll be in a happy place, you'll be laughing at all those people that are in tier 9 games fighting Object 4, 268 version 4s and mouses and fighting all those big tanks in their stupid little Polish thing with the turbo boost that can't do anything, right? Just be happy. You can just have fun, and forget about grinding. Let the Russians grind, right? They can just grind away and grind and grind and grind, and Tolstoy can write another book, right? 1,700 pages. The struggle of the working class, and he had a love, but she left him. And after she left him, he looked for her for his whole life. And just as he was about to find her, war broke out, and the Bolsheviks attacked, and he was wounded and spent time in a hospital where the nurse that took care of him was horrible and treated him poorly and peed in his soup and wouldn't change his diaper. And 17 years in the hospital, and then he was let go, and he continued his search, and he got a horse, and he had to cross Siberia to find his true love that he lost earlier, and halfway across, the horse fucking died, and he was left alone and kidnapped by rebels who enslaved him and made him make ammunition for the resistance, and he hated them, and then when he was 80, they said, "You're too fucking slow. Get out of here. We don't need you anymore." And he hooked a ride on a train and went to the other side of Siberia and found the little village where his true love was. And yes, she was still there. And he asked the people where she was, and she was staying at this horrible little apartment in the basement with bugs and brown water because she gave up on her life when her love left. And he finally found her, and he went down there, and she wasn't the true love that he remembered. She was 80, and she looked like shit, and she was suffering from dementia, so she didn't recognize him. And so she phoned the police, and the police came, and he was arrested and thrown in jail in the small town. And he rotted in jail for another 2 years until he got sick, and they transferred him to the hospital, which was run by morons, and the morons refused to empty his bedpan, so his room smelt like shit, and he was there for 7 years, and then one day when all hope was lost, his true love, who had dementia and didn't recognize him, also checked into the hospital because she suffered a stroke, and they gave her the room right beside him. So as one day the sun came up, and a little stray beam of light flashed into the room and glistened off her cheek. The 92-year-old woman with dementia that didn't recognize him, who phoned the police on him. And just as the light hit her with that reflection, he imagined, because he was losing his mind, that in his mind it looked like, yes, that's her from 77 years ago. I found happiness. Just before he croaked, he realized that was her, and she looked over and she smiled at him, and it was the happiest moment of his life. He didn't realize that she smiled because she just wet herself, and the warmth made her giggle. and just as they were both finally happy and ready to die, someone ran into the room and said, "Everybody, we must celebrate. The Bolsheviks have won. We've won the rebellion. The war is over. The war is over. The struggle and the sacrifice we made is all in victory. We have succeeded. We have struggled forward and clawed our way up. We are now free. Are we all not happy? Russia, Mother Russia!" 1,700 fucking pages, right? And that's the definition of Russian enjoyment. Read it sometime. All Russian stories are the same. They're all the same. They're all like that, including the fucking grind to tier 10 in this Polish line. And all I can tell you is, don't do it!